Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruby. So for today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make a back cowl dress, and I'll be showing you different ways you can attach it to your shoulders. If you want plinting on your shoulders, I will show you how to do that. So if this is what you're interested in, please subscribe, like and share, and let's get right to the video. So this is my pattern paper. I drafted out my basic bodies on it, so I'm going to be labeling it so that it's not going to confuse you or anything. So this is my bust line, it can be your armhole line too, and this is my waist, this is my hip. Okay, this dress is going to be a long gown, so that is why my pattern paper is up to the hip level. So, and even the pattern paper, it wasn't enough for the full length of the dress, so I'm going to show you what I did. But right now, let's draft out our neckline. So I'll be using 5 by 2.5 inches. That's 5 inches is for the width and 2.5 inches is for the depth of the neck. So right now I'm going to mark 4 at my armhole line, and I'm going to draw a curve for my armhole curve. I hope you understand. So this is for the back pattern. This is for the back pattern. We are not ready for the front pattern yet, so this is for the back pattern. So this is basically all you have to do. Use your body measurement to get the shape for your pattern paper, and you just cut. So for this, I didn't add any body allowance. I didn't add any sewing allowance to this because there's absolutely no need, but you can add half inches if you want to, just to be on the safe side. So right now I'm cutting the neckline. So the next thing we are going to do is to open up this line. We're going to open it up. Now this is my bust line, which is 8 inches from the shoulder to this line. It's 8 inches. Your shoulder to your armhole line or your bust line, mine is 8 inches. When you measure yours, you can write what you have on your pattern paper for yours. So right now I've opened it up, and you make sure that what is holding these two pieces together is a very tiny stuff, so that you can be able to open it very wide when you place it on your fabric. So that is it. So right now we're just going to fold our fabric into 2. I'll be using this blue fabric for it, for the dress. So you'll be folding it into 2, and you're going to place your pattern paper on it, and I would advise you to secure it with a pin so that you can be able to spread very well and your papers won't shift. So that is what I did, and as you can see, I just opened it up. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to place my tape rule like this, and I'm just going to measure. Here I had 11, but I'm still going to open it again so that I'm going to get something like 12 or 13. So here I have 12. You can make yours 13 if you want it to be very deep. So I'm just tracing this pattern with my chalk on my fabric. So I'm just going to do that for all to the length of the dress. So guys, just pay attention to what I am doing, and just make sure you do exactly what you are saying. So right now, as you can see, I left like 2 inches above that neckline, above the neck. This is my neckline. I left like 2 inches above. So you can do yours, or you can just mark exactly at your neckline. Just draw a straight line at your neckline, but I left 2 inches because I'm going to be folding it inward. I'm not going to add any lining to this, so I want to fold it inward. So that is why I went up like that. But you can leave like 1 inches if you are not folding it or something. So that is what I did. And like I said before, that this dress is a long gown, so it's going to be having a slit at the front side of it. So I'm just going to be showing you the downside what I did. Like I said before, this pattern paper is not as long as the full length of the dress I want, so I'm going to, and my waistline is 17. My waist, from my shoulder to my waistline, is 17. So I'm just going to place 17 at that my waistline. Then I am going to now take the full measurement of the dress, which is 54, and I added 2 inches to it, making 56 inches. So that is what I did. So right now, I know you can't actually see, but I'm going to correct my camera so that you can see what I did there. So right now, I'm measuring my hip measurement. So I am going to be subtracting 2 inches from that, and I'm going to be placing that measurement at my hemline. So right now, I'm just going to trace it downward to that measurement I took at my hemline. So that is it. Yeah, so like I said, make sure you watch up to the end of this video so that you're going to see how I joined the back pattern and the front pattern, how to plant your shoulder to have more fold at the back, and that is it. Just make sure you watch to the end of this video. So here I am cutting. I'm just going to cut exactly what I traced from my pattern paper. So I'm going to just cut. And guys, if you're watching up to this moment and you haven't subscribed, please, I beg you, do well to subscribe, like, and make sure to press the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. So just watch as I cut and make sure you cut exactly. And please make sure you notch your armhole curve, your neckline, your shoulder line, so that you won't get confused when you're joining with your front pattern. When you notch all these things, it's going to be very, very easy for you to match the shoulders together with the front pattern and so make sure you notch them as you are cutting. Make sure you notch them. I'm going to show you mine so that you understand what I'm saying. So here I am notching my shoulders, and here is my armhole curve. I am going to notch that also. So after doing this, we're just going to open it up, and this is it. So this is how you're going to fold that 2 inches we went up with. But first of all, we are going to sew the tips of this dress so that it's not going to come out. That's it's not going to lose. So we're going to use 1/2 inches and sew the tips of this dress. Then we're just going to fold like this with the 2 inches we went up with when we were drafting it out. So right now I'm just measuring the 2 inches we went up with. Then I'm just going to fold, and I will use my pin to secure it. So I'm going to do the same thing at the other side. I'll measure the 2 inches, then I will use my pin to just hold it down. So as you can see, the place I notch as my shoulder, so I'm just going to like put it inside like this to just create my cowl at the back of my dress. So you're just going to do it like this. That place you notch is going to be the starting point when you are joining it with your front pattern. So that is it. Don't worry, I'm going to show you another way you can be able to achieve this back when you are joining it with your front pattern. So I'm going to show you, but this is another way you also can join it with the back, and this is how it's going to be. I'm going to place it on my mannequin for you to see, but before that we're going to draft out the front pattern, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. So this is for my front pattern. I just drew a baseline. This is where I'm going to be starting all my measurements, and I'm drawing it so that it's going to be visible for you guys to see. So I'll be placing my tape rule on that, and I'll be marking my armhole line or my bust line, you can call it any of them. Then I took my waist measurement. For my waist measurement, I measured 9 inches, which is my hip line. So right now I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 is 8, so I just drew 8 at the armhole line and at the baseline we started from. So I'm just going to draw it into a straight line. Now I'm going to be taking my bust measurement. So your bust measurement divided by 4, don't add any allowance to it, or you can add ½ inches allowance to it. And I'll be taking her waist measurement divided by 4 plus ½ inches allowance. I'll mark that and I'll just draw it into a straight line. Then at her hip line, I'm going to take her hip measurement divided by 4, and I'll also mark that at her hip measurement, at her hip line, I'm sorry. So that is what I am doing right now. I'm taking down her hip measurement and I'm just going to connect it to her waistline. Now placing 17 on her waistline, I'm going to take her full body measurement, which is 56, and I will connect it to the line. So this is what you're supposed to have. Then I'm just going to cut. So the only thing you have to be very careful with the front pattern is to make sure your neck width is the same with the back one. Make sure your neck width, if you're using a neck width of 5 inches for the back one, make sure for the front is also 5 inches, so that you can be able to match them together and it's going to be perfect. So that is what I did now. I just measured 5 inches as the neck width. Then I'm using a neck depth of, I'm using a very high neck depth. I'm using a neck depth of 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to draw. You can use a neck depth of 2 inches also. So the picture on the thumbnail, if you notice, is very high. The neck depth is very high. So you can go as up as 2 inches for your own neck depth, but I'll be using 2.5 inches. That is what I used. So right now I already drew my armhole curve, and if you notice, I came in by ½ inches because this is the front pattern. For the back pattern, you just draw your curve normally, but for this front pattern, you have to come in by 1/2 inches. So right now I'm cutting the neckline, so we're basically through with the front pattern. So what we're going to do also, I'm going to cut the facing for the front pattern. I'll be cutting a facing for the front pattern. So I'll be placing it on top like this, and I'm going to trace out the neckline. Then I will just cut. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to sew this at the neckline, front side facing each other with my facing, and I'm just going to bring it for you guys to see. And this is it. So make sure you iron. You can use your hair stay, place it in between the neckline, and you iron it so that the facing is going to just stay in place. It's not going to moving about, and it's not going to be showing when you wear it. So that is what you are going to do. So this is my back pattern. Like I said, I've sewn the upside. I've sewn it with 1/2 inches. So right now I'm going to be matching the shoulder I notched with the front pattern. I'm going to match it, then I'm going to place it together with the front pattern. Then I will show you guys something, so please pay attention and watch. So I'm doing the same to the other side. I'll place it with the front pattern and I'll pin it down. So if you notice on the thumbnail, that's the picture on the thumbnail, there is a little bit pleating at the shoulder line for the back cowl. So that is what I am going to be doing. That is exactly what I'm going to be doing. So after matching that place I notched at the back side with the front one, now this remaining excess we are having, I'm going to pleat it at the shoulder line. So I'm going to show you guys, so don't worry. So now I'm matching the armhole curve too with the front pattern. So that is why I told you guys to match them together. That's to notch them, sorry. So that it's going to be easy for you to just match them when you are joining it with your front pattern. So that is what I basically did, and you can see how easy it is for me to locate the armhole curve and the rest. So that is what you're supposed to do. So I'm just going to pin this dress, both the front and the back pattern, so that it's going to be easy when I'm explaining the shoulder. There will be nothing interrupting the explanation. So I'm just using my pin to just secure the sides together. So I'm done pinning, and I want to still show you guys how to come about with the shoulder. so please just watch attentively. Like I said, make sure you hold this neckline with your gum, just like this. You place it in between and you now iron it so that it's going to stay in place. So I'm going to do that for mine. And I'm going to weave anywhere that is necessary. So this is the notch shoulder, that's the place I'm supposed to join. So I'm going to fold it into two. So I'll just fold it into two, then I'm going to pleat it just the way I told you guys how to do it. So I folded it into two, making sure that notched place is at the center. Then I'm going to pleat the excess I have. So just watch exactly what I'm doing and I hope you're going to understand. So I'm pinning it with the front pattern right now. So if you notice, everything is matching right now. It's matching. So I'm going to do the other side so that you understand what I'm saying too. Now here is the notched place. I'm going to fold it into two like this. Then I'm going to pleat this excess I have so that it's going to match it. I'll pleat it like this. Now you can pleat it to have more than one pleating, but I'm just making mine to be just one. You can pleat it to have maybe two pleatings, but mine is one. So I'm going to hold it with my pin and I'll place it with the front pattern. So yes, I'm going to place it with the front pattern just like this and I'll pin it together. So the next thing we're going to do is to sew this shoulder, and I'm going to show you guys the result on my mannequin. So I'm going to place that cross you saw at the back of the dress. You just cut 2 inches in width, and in length you cut 15 inches. Then you add your elastic to it. Add elastic to the strap so that your client can be able to remove the clothes when she's putting it on. So that is how I achieved that back cross, but I didn't show it on this video, but I'm just telling you guys what to do. So this is how to cut a back cowl, and this is the result I have. I hope you try this method and you give me the feedback. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you on my next tutorial. Bye.